DCC is arguably the biggest game changer that ever appeared for model railroading. It was standardized quickly so that every company could use it, and it has led to some hyper-realistic functions we are privy to today. But the DCC control systems, well, sometimes they can feel like they're kind of stuck, and there hasn't been much of a reason to really change them. There have been incremental improvements and newer versions, but nothing has really blown the doors off. This was until DCC++ came out over a decade ago, and since I upgraded from my Bachmann Easy command almost a decade ago, I have been using nothing but DCC++ and its successor DCC-EX. And I think that all of the stars have aligned to where you can have an entire DCC system with DCC-EX without a computer and be perfectly happy. I have built my setup around this idea, and I'm going to show you today.
Real quick, this video is brought to you by Model Railroad Academy. It is an online community of model railroaders where members can get all sorts of tips, tricks, tutorials, ideas for all sorts of model railroad related things. It's got a lot of cool stuff in there that can really get you going on model railroading. And if you are looking to join up, the first 1,000 people that use the link in my description will get a full year of premium membership to Model Railroad Academy for $1.49. That's like 90% off the annual membership, and this offer is valid for new members only. Thank you so much to Model Railroad Academy for supporting this video.
My current command station is a DCC-EX CSB1. Now, this was the first commercially available DCC system from the volunteer team at DCC-EX. Now, you can build this system completely by yourself. I did a video on that a while ago, and I'm thinking about doing an update. I'll put that up at the end of this video as well as in the description. And I also printed out a case for it from the free file they have to download. It can put up to 5 amps per output and has built-in Wi-Fi. That's weirdly rare for DCC systems. A lot of times you have a Wi-Fi add-on module, but I also understand that since systems are built that way. It has a mainline and program track output, along with being able to run in a booster mode when it detects a rail sync input. It's a pretty impressive piece of tech that you can get for relatively cheap when you compare it to other DCC systems of its capability. Now, over the past 8 years, tech has slowly evolved around the DCC-EX system to the point where you can build an entire setup around it. When I first started with DCC++, you had to have it connected to a computer running JMRI, and then you either had to use the controls within JMRI or create the Y-throttle server from JMRI and run it off your phone. Now, you don't need a computer, you don't need any of that. Let's take a look at my current setup. The heart of my system, as I said before, is a CSB1, which is right here. And I've been running this on this layout, but before this layout, I had the custom DIY build of the DCC-EX system, including one with a regularly commercially available motor shield, and then the motor shield that the DCC-EX team came out that you can add on to yours. Now, I also have 2 connections hooked up, one for the main line and one for the programming track. That's right, you can have a programming track on this. I also have it plugged in with a simple switch that cuts the power on and off. I know there's already been a lot of people that have done videos about electrical safety with videos, especially after the fire on Kim Patterson's layout. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to link some videos right up here that will be able to talk all about that. There is a quick plug on the main line as well that lets me unplug from this layout and plug into my HO scale layout so that I can run both systems both layouts on the same system so that I don't have to have 2 separate systems. But if I ever wanted to do that, honestly, I'd probably just DIY build a system just for the HO scale layout. Over on the table, I have the control system and the programming track. I have the programming track hooked up with alligator clips so that I can swap which track is hooked up to it, so that if I need to program something in HO scale, I can do it, and if I need to program something in N scale, I can do that. I pretty much leave it on N scale because I do a lot more of that than HO scale. I have a USB power hub for charging all of my devices. This includes a non-branded gamepad controller that's set up in the Xbox configuration, an old Android phone, I also have a TCS UWT-50 that uses AA batteries, but I'll probably get a set of rechargeable batteries for that at some point. And lastly, we have the brain of the system. This is actually an old iPad that I had laying around. It had lost most of its battery capacity and I just kind of had it sitting somewhere. So I pretty much leave it plugged in here, but it's great because it basically functions for everything that I need that's more complex on the layout. I am running Throttle Card on it, which I pay for the premium version, which I think is like $11 a year, and that's just a two-man team that's developing it, and it's basically just to cover their costs, so I have no problem paying for that. I will link it in the description below. But it allows me to do programming on the app without needing a computer, as you can see right here. Now, Throttle Card is an iPhone iPad app, and it's the best one in my opinion. If you don't have it or don't want to buy an Apple device, you can use the totally free engine driver on Android and run the native DCC-EX mode, which is an option at the bottom when you're choosing which Wi-Fi server to connect to. And then you can do the programming on that right there, which is actually what I did until Throttle Card came out. You will need the latest version of Engine Driver, just FYI. Also, this phone is a prepaid track phone. I paid less than $50 for it on Amazon, and I just never activated it and use it on Wi-Fi only. So if you got an old Android phone laying around or you are Android, this is the way to go. Also, Throttle Card works just as well on iPhone. So if you're an iPhone user, you don't need a separate iPad to control it. You can just have that on there. You just got to connect to the Wi-Fi of the DCC system. This entire system gives me a lot of options for controlling my railroad. It allows me to use the gamepad connected to the iPad for controlling, which I can control all the throttles that I have just by switching it back and forth. I can also use the cell phone controller. And I also have the UWT-50. This comes especially in hand when I am doing the controls with my son, who loves to use the UWT-50, and I'll just use the gamepad controller. It also allows for consisting as well, which is pretty simple in this. There is a way to get a Digitrax throttle to connect to this, thanks to the IOTT guy. I don't think the parts are currently available though, but I'll link his YouTube page right up here. So there it is, my version of a modern DCC system. I think the coolest part about all of this is that this entire system was designed by enthusiasts and volunteers. There's of course the DCC-EX project, but there's also Engine Driver and Throttle Card. These are people that design these apps that just love model trains. It's just another way that model railroading is a super hobby that encompasses so much. So I want to take a moment and thank all of the enthusiasts out there that are making not just our hobby, but many other hobbies like ours simply better just because they love it. And this is the kind of thing you get out of that. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.